We've been doing a lot of digging here lately, and I figured I'd show you guys a little bit of what we're doing. So this is, we've had a low spot here in the yard for many years, probably even before I was around, and we had some extra dirt from doing another project, and I figured we would use it for this spot here. There's a gutter, let's see, there's a gutter drain here, yeah, a downspout that runs from the house underground to the creek over on the left side of the screen. And it always amazes me, you know, they say matter isn't generated or isn't created, or I forget the other word, created or destroyed in Earth. You know, it changes its form. But if you dig a hole and you fill it back in, you never have enough of dirt to fill the hole back in to where it was, which is, it's always weird for me whenever stuff like that happens. It's like, you know, I took the same amount of dirt out, and why don't I have enough of dirt to fill it back in? You know, I can rake the yard, etc., down to the grass, and I don't know, it's just weird. I guess it must be from digging, that the pressure of digging, it somehow compacts the dirt or something, and you don't have enough to fill in the hole. So, but yeah, this was always a low spot down on the end. It was pushing probably 10 inches deep, but just like a little valley. And, you know, I mean, it wasn't a huge thing, a high on the priority list, but if we have any extra dirt, you know, I'm looking for spots in the yard to fill. Now, I did not get any video of this either. We dug this back up again, and we replaced the pipe underground the whole way to the creek. And the reason we did that is whenever they did this, there's a floor drain here, and there's also the gutter drain, and they use thin wall pipe for everything. So whoever did this really cheaped out on the pipe. The thin wall pipe I can pretty much squeeze with my hand and almost crack the end of it, you know, just with my bare hand. So if you hit that with a machine, you know, such as a backhoe, or heck, even a shovel would crush it. You know, it's just really cheap pipe, and I don't know why they use it to bury stuff underground. That's like really light duty pipe. And if I remember correctly, the thin wall versus the Schedule 40, which is like triple the thickness, is double the cost. So you get triple the pipe for double the cost. So if I ever got into excavating,
and pull that back,
I would probably just put in everything for Schedule 40, or say if I was doing like a French drain or something, I would put in, it's like SDR 35 or something. It's like a greenish pipe. That's what I would put in, and I would not even mess around with any thin wall pipe anywhere. That also includes the joints that you hook the pipes together with. So this dirt is pretty wet, and it's tough spreading wet dirt, and heck, actually even when this stuff is dry, it's really hard spreading it. This is pretty much all clay here. Clay, and if you dig down far enough in this area, you will hit, there'll be like a tannish color or brown color of clay, and then you also hit a real gray layer of clay, and there's also sand. So it's pretty much all clay around here. And you can really see, look behind my brother there, you can really see how much the 8N pollutes. This tractor really needs an entire full engine rebuild. It's really looking tired here. And all that white smoke you're seeing before is probably blow by, and maybe a little bit of the coolant boiling off. There was a guy, a friend of the family, that all he did, I guess he worked for the township or something. I forget exactly what he said, but they ran tons of 8N tractors. They had like 12 of them or 11 that he serviced and rebuilt and did all sorts of stuff to, and he doesn't use those tractors anymore. And he actually gave us a crankshaft for it because he said, I'm never going to use this thing again, and he wanted it to go to someone that will use it. And he knows that this tractor needs a full engine rebuild, I'm sure, because probably when he drove by, he said that he could probably see the blow by and the smoke from the road from this thing. So that was pretty cool to get a newly machined down crankshaft. They don't, as far as I know, they don't make the crankshaft for this again. So really what you do is you pull yours out of the machine, and then you would have it machined down, and then you'd put it back in with different bearings and stuff. So having that is really, really very generous of him. Those crankshafts are not cheap, but like I said, he didn't want to see it go to waste. So we got the main part of the tractor that Christian and I were dreading having to buy or have it machined. I don't know exactly how much machining would have cost on that, but I later found out to rebuild the bottom end of this thing. This tractor, it needs a top end rebuild. I would put in all new valves, a new camshaft. I would put in new valve guides, because from what my brother said, they're all pretty rusty. I would put in new main bearings for the crankshaft, new bearings for the connecting rods, new pistons, new rings. We would also put in new sleeves too for the pistons. I think the flywheel is okay. There doesn't seem to be any skipped tooth or anything, but we'll have a look at it whenever we actually have to split the tractor to get the crankshaft out, from what I understand. I've never done any type of engine rebuild like this, so I guess while we're in there, we might replace the clutch on this machine also, or at least the pads. And then, once we get everything back together again, we could really use this tractor for some serious work. This machine, for anyone that doesn't know, anyone that's new to the channel, this is a 1948-49 Ford 8N with a Freeman loader, and we have a 5-foot box blade on the back. And the whole engine needs a rebuild. You can see when you really lug the tractor, it really starts puffing out all sorts of smoke. But we kind of need this tractor for stuff like this, so maybe a winter project we'd rebuild this thing. But then again, we don't have any heated buildings to work on this, and those of you that know if you don't have a heated shop, working on metal and steel and stuff in the winter is not really fun. And it's, it is what it is. It'd be really nice to put in a heated building, or seal up one of the barns real good and insulate it, and then get some heat going. But you can tell, the tractor still has some power left. It's able to pick at the front end of the tractor up, which that is, I don't know if that would be the heaviest end of this thing. Probably with the loader on it would be. But the rear end, the rear tires do have calcium and stuff, whatever calcium is left in them. And of course this is a trip bucket. Back when this thing was made, don't think they put hydraulic cylinders on the bucket. All they did was they just put them on the lift for the loader. Now this spot here, this was a many years ago. They had brought in an excavator and dug this up. This was a big sinkhole in here. There's a lot of water that comes off the hill on my back, and there would be about a 3-foot by probably 2-foot wide sinkhole, so 3 feet deep, 2 feet wide sinkhole here, and it would just constantly keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And like I said, since we have some extra dirt, I figured we would put it in here and, you know, just kind of do our best to spread it around. There's probably too much dirt here, and we may push some of it towards the bank on the creek. We have lost probably 2 feet of the bank right where the tractor is, and I figured we could, you know, use any extra dirt there. But this spot, it's always real wet, and believe it or not, you can actually hear the water flowing underground here when this was all open. And the 8N doesn't seem to have nearly as much power in reverse when you're using the box blade in reverse, but in forward it seems to have plenty of power. So I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. And hopefully we will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.